Yes, how we doing, everyone? Sam here. It's Monday morning. Not sure about you, but I woke up feeling fine after that 2-1 win against West Ham yesterday. This morning's live show is going to be a busy one. I want to speak about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the fact that I think he deserves praise. Look, if you're going to criticize him after Young Boys, you've got to praise him after West Ham. I'll explain that. I want to speak about De Gea in a little bit more detail. I want to speak about Lingard in a bit more detail. I want to speak about Ronaldo, the goal-scoring freak. Haaland, maybe his name will even pop up, judging by the comments. How are you all doing? You let me know what your reaction is the morning after the night before from that game against West Ham yesterday. And that's why we love football, right? Yesterday is exactly why we love football. The highs, the lows, the bursts, the surprise, the drama. The game kind of had everything yesterday. Had a lot of frustrating points, had a lot of great points, all mixed in. That's why you love football. Moments like that yesterday with Lingard scoring the winner right in the top bins, and De Gea, was it his first penalty save since like 2014? I think it was against Luke. Was it Lukaku? Was it Baines? Anyway, he doesn't save penalties. He conceded 11 during the Europa League final, but De Gea came up with a moment yesterday. Now, I want to start by focusing on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You let me know what your thoughts are after that game yesterday. Is it one that's tinged in frustration at United conceding or how we played? Or is it one where you can feel just absolutely buzzing? I personally think, look, nothing beats a last-minute winner. It doesn't really matter what happened in the game then. You got a last-minute winner. But you let me know what you think in the comments below. Throughout the entire stream, make sure you subscribe if you're new. Make sure you fire your comments in, fire your super chats in. I want you to get involved. But this video here was absolutely lovely. I enjoyed watching this. This was Solskjaer after the full-time whistle.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer runs on the pitch to congratulate his goalkeeper and to join the throng who are doing
everyone exactly there. Everyone getting involved. Congratulating De Gea. The team looks good. Look, man. United, look at this. This record is absolutely phenomenal. Manchester United, since the start of last season in the Premier League, we've recovered 35 points from losing positions, nearly double anybody else. Now, of course, here you could say, well, that's just the fact that Manchester United keep conceding. That's more a negative than a positive. Cool, if you want to say that. But for me, I think Manchester United's ability to come from behind to win is a direct consequence of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's man management. You can look. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a person who has naturally very good man management. I don't think anybody can deny that whatsoever. What he lacks in is obviously tactically. That's where a lot of people will criticize him. But look, we had Jose Mourinho, one of the best tacticians in world football and one of the worst man managers in world football. And now we've got maybe the opposite. I'm not saying Solskjaer is the worst, but so many people are so damn quick to criticize Solskjaer. It's like they want United to lose, so it fits the agenda of the fact that Solskjaer is just not good enough for Man United. There's still a lot that Solskjaer needs to learn on the job, but that's that there. United, again, coming from behind. It's not a coincidence, ladies and gents. If United go 1-0 down, put a tenner on United to win. We've done it so often, and we did it again yesterday. Sure, you might go out and say, well, if De Gea doesn't save that penalty, then it's a 2-2 draw, and then Solskjaer is going to be criticised. All right. You want to have that argument, then Man United should have had 2 penalties, Stonewall penalties, and it probably would have been 4-1 by the time that West Ham had that penalty. What I'm saying is, if you're going to criticize, fair enough. Criticize when you want to, but fucking praise where it is due as well. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer yesterday, the 2 subs that he made, Lingard, he got the winner. Sancho, again, struggled, but Sancho's just had a tough start to his career at United. Lingard comes on and bags the winner, and so many might have been like, why are you bringing on Lingard? Lingard scores the winner. Vindicated after what was a ridiculous pass by him against Young Boys. But I want us all to try and be as level-headed as possible when it comes to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this season. Don't make the highs too high. Don't make the lows too low. Try and stay a bit level. Because if you don't, from week to week, from performance to performance, inside a 90-minute period, you're going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. Look, like Kim says there, look, don't go over the top with the praise, Sam. I'm not going over the top with the praise, but what I'm saying is all of us need to maybe take a step back from the highs and take a step back from the mega lows as well. Stay in the middle, man. United, we're top, well, joint top of the league. We've had an excellent start to the Premier League. The Champions League, sure, frustrating. But our squad is in the best position. I'm actually going to do a video on this. I did a video on it, a message to about Solskjaer from Man United fans, where I explained my frustrations and why I can criticise Solskjaer. I can also explain why I have so much respect for what he's done as well. But it fucks me off, if I'm being completely honest. The amount of yo-yoing that United fans can do when it comes to Solskjaer. Don't, man. You're just making it difficult for yourself. Just stay in the middle. Look, Matic got the assist, said, oh, of course he did. Matic came on as well. Now, Fred, I'll be honest, should have came off earlier. Fred was absolutely abysmal yesterday. I'm definitely going to do... There's so many talking points around United right now. I don't really know where to start with. I think I'm going to do a video later today on a sort of a message from me to De Gea and Lingard, because yesterday, look, there was a double redemption yesterday, wasn't there? Jesse Lingard, after what he did against Young Boys, he could have easily buried his head in the sand. And it was a real showing of mature and elite level mentality from Lingard to be able to bury that, what he did there against Young Boys, and do that against West Ham only a few days later. Amazing from him. I'm going to go in that in a little bit more depth. And De Gea as well. Look at what it meant to him. I love that photo. That's him at full time. He's clearly, he's had that in his head all season long. And maybe that's been the fuel to his fire and what De Gea's come back like this season. Because he looks fantastic. But I'll tell you what, I want to have a little debate here. I'm going to head down to the comments here and I'm going to read a few of your opinions out on Solskjaer, on the reaction to yesterday, and let me see what you're saying. Robin Williams, been saying, if you wore your shirt through the Moyes and Van Gaal era, this is nothing as a supporter. Look, man, we've seen so much since Fergie left. We've seen Moyes, we've seen Van Gaal, we've seen Mourinho's. But I wouldn't say all of them had highs. I'm not sure Moyes even had a high. Van Gaal, of course, he had highs. The FA Cup moments, good. A lot of frustration in between. Mourinho, moments, Europa League, League Cup, frustration in between. I don't get how people don't feel this Man United team and club is in the best position by some distance that we've been in post Fergie. Yes, we're not winning the silverware right now, but I think there's a real sense of entitlement among some United fans. You've got to get rid of that entitlement, man. We dominated the Premier League for like 20 odd years. It doesn't mean that we're going to be dominating it now. And right now it's so hyper competitive. Liverpool looking good this season. City drawing against Southampton, but they'll be there. We know they will be. Chelsea probably looking like the strongest so far. Thomas Tuchel got a ridiculously good defense. And people will look at Tuchel and the impact that he's had and say, why can't Solskjaer do that? Because of how many clean sheets they're keeping, how good they are. But United are good. United can be good and we can be terrible inside the same game. We can be great one week and then the next week we can't. And that's where the frustrations come from. It's the inconsistency of the football. Maybe that's what's reflected in the fan base. We're so inconsistent as a club that from one game to another, it can chop from a 10 out of 10 performance drop down to a 3 out of 10. And that's what happens with the fan base as well. It just goes up and down so crazy like that. Robin, you're saying that a great win, but a lucky win. I have no faith in Solskjaer. Once we were ahead, we dropped to defend as usual. The fact that they were in our half, haven't been able to get the ball is all game is down to Solskjaer. I mean, I'm not sure what game you were watching, but Man United in that second half came out and dominated. We pressed as a team. We had real intensity up until the whole way through. We were great. And of course, if you score an 88th minute goal to go 2-1 up, you're going to go defensive. Every team in the world would do that. It's such obviously it's always considered the most dangerous time after you score, don't concede. Of course, everyone's going to do that. It's I find it strange here, honestly, man. I think people have got real agendas. And I know people have accused me of having an agenda. People accuse me of having an agenda against De Gea. No, I just thought that this season was when he was going to go back home to Spain and that we were going to come through with Dean Henderson. Am I going to then not celebrate what I'm seeing with De Gea? No, De Gea looks incredible. Absolutely. And I'm super happy and stoked that he's still here playing like this. But I don't know. I'm going to keep reading the comments out here. I'm going to keep reading the comments. Jeff, I think Solskjaer has proven what he's all about. We get closer and closer every year. This is our team now. We can't just always live in the past. I'm not sure whether people are living in the past, but there's definitely a huge sense of entitlement among some United fans, thinking, why have we got to wait? Why can't we win everything right now? Why can't we just bring everybody in, bring a new manager in? This is FIFA 22. I know what can solve it. Let's change things. Change doesn't always solve everything, sorry. And yeah, I'm reaching the point now where I think genuinely a lot of people have got just a pure agenda against Solskjaer, that they can't get over the fact that he came into the club with no real massive experience, that it's been a bit of a long road to go there. But I love this United team and this set of players more so than I have had a connection with any United team for a long time. Even the United teams that won the Europa League, that won the FA Cup, that won the League Cup. This United team that I'm seeing now with Solskjaer as our manager and the players that we've got, I feel like I've got a bigger connection to this team than any team in the last few years. And therefore, I'm enjoying it more. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and as I said, this skews my opinion a bit. And I can't look, it's very hard not to be biased in football in any way, shape, or form, really, isn't it? Solskjaer's my favourite player as a United player. I've explained that why in another stream previously. But I think that there's just so many foundations that keep building and building. And we're equal top of the league, ladies and gentlemen. 5 games in, we've won 4. We've only drawn 1. We're undefeated. How the hell can you complain about what you're seeing from Manchester United in the Premier League so far? Rego, Sam, I think Ole needs to find a way to break teams who sit back. We are still struggling there. That's simple, unfortunately, Rego. That just comes down to the pace and the tempo of the football. Everybody knows how to break down that low block. So one of 2 ways. You either play either needle passes, those through balls that break the lines. If you're sitting so deep, there's hardly any space in behind to do that. The only other way of doing that and breaking that low block down is by fast tempo movement of the ball, switching it from the left, switching it from the right. By doing that, you drag the team out of position, you create space, and therefore you get the space in behind. United don't do that enough. Yes, that is a criticism which is fair. Manchester United do need to move the ball faster. And we've got such quality of players that we should be, and that shouldn't really be another question. Ritesh, what are you saying? Morning, Sam. Thrilling game last night for sure. Still, we will know exactly where Solskjaer stands after the next 5 fixtures. Unfair to put him down yet. I don't think it matters about the next 5 fixtures. Solskjaer is going to be Manchester United's manager until the end of the season. Support him in any way you can. Support these players because you can see the foundations of something special. You can see the squad is there. And us continuing to come from behind to win is a brilliant habit because it won't always go right for you. I thought United, we were playing quite slowly there, but there's no way that West Ham deserved that lead. I said I was criticizing it on Twitter yesterday. I said, look, don't act like we don't deserve to be 1-0 down. And maybe upon reflection on that, I was a little bit harsh, but I was frustrated like a lot of you are by the slow build-up that was happening. That Manchester United weren't moving through the lines quick enough. And that is a criticism we can all absolutely say about the club. But just to try and... I bet you there were some people yesterday that didn't even really want to celebrate that game simply because of Solskjaer's our manager, even though the fact that we scored an 89th minute winner and De Gea saved a penalty. That's what football's all about, man. Those fucking moments. It was amazing. It was amazing. Fred is not the quality. Look, Fred, I'm definitely going to do a video. I'm going to do a message to Fred, all Man United about Fred. Fred, again, yesterday, the game, it's just not it's not good enough for him. And this is the issue. Really, this is the issue. Scott McTominay is our best midfielder in that role, in that sort of area of the pitch right now. Don't think anybody would question it. Came back in yesterday, I would say the best midfielder on the pitch, ahead of Rice and Soucek, who I thought were going to dominate the game. But McTominay is a box-to-box midfielder, and he was allowed to play that role yesterday. He is not a holding midfielder. And the fact that Fred sits deeper than McTominay goes to show that. And it goes to show exactly why Van der Beek is not going to be trusted alongside McTominay, because Solskjaer doesn't trust Van der Beek in that defensive type role. He wants Van der Beek to play as a backup to Bruno. So, for example, against West Ham on Tuesday, I think we should maybe rest Bruno and give Donny that starting role in a number 10 position. That's where we're going to see Donny this season, not in the double pivot. And McTominay, he's not really a pivot player either. He's a box-to-box midfielder. Let me go down here and read more of your... As I said, keep firing your comments in here, ladies and gents, because, yeah, I'll be honest, it's starting to get on my nerves now. It's starting to really piss me off. what I'm seeing in terms of Solskjaer. Tiborg, there's a huge improvement under Ole, but some of his decisions are making me mad. Tactics, player favoritism, substitutions. It seems like we're on the right track. Oh yeah, you can criticize. You can definitely criticize decisions that happen. So substitutions you can't criticize yesterday at all. Really, you can criticize why Fred wasn't brought off earlier, but then Matic, who came on for him, created the goal. We scored in the 88th minute. We won 2-1. Decisions equals vindicated. When the results come in, you can't really criticize the decisions too much because ultimately this is a results-based business rather than a performance-based business. And results yesterday, we won. And as I said, I thought we controlled a large portions of that game. Majority, West Ham were crap. Saw West Ham fans saying that they were good value for a point. Really? Nah, not at all. They were sat in their own half. They couldn't get out. They hardly had a shot on target. They were hardly threatening without Antonio. And Man United deserved those 3 points yesterday, as far as I'm concerned. Let me go back up here and read more of your comments. Gaming mentality. In agreement that the team is way better than a couple of years ago, but seeing Chelsea play the way they did, we need to improve a lot to even compete for the title. Absolutely, completely agree on that. And the main thing there, it comes down to the tempo of the football. It comes down to the players knocking it around faster. We have to move through the lines faster. And that lack of tempo is what exacerbates the problems that we're seeing. That's what exacerbates the noises against Solskjaer's style of play. That does need to improve. Absolutely. Karen, Ole deserves the credit. After all, not a bad PE teacher. Look, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's almost like people want to see Solskjaer fail. That they've now just made their opinion so firm and cemented in their mind that they can't possibly credit Solskjaer or credit what we're seeing. And that's called an agenda. Look, I did a video. My apology. I did a video apologizing to Solskjaer because I remember, was it like November 2020? Maybe. There was a point where I lost it. I felt like it was at the point of no return with Solskjaer. I thought after he wasn't backed in the summer, not back to what is it? I remember having a point where I was like, yeah, it feels like there's no point of no return now with Solskjaer. And I was wrong. United rallied, came behind him, and look where we are now. And I came out and did the video looking at the mistakes I made and apologizing for them. Because opinions can change. Just because you felt one way about Solskjaer previously doesn't mean that you aren't allowed to change your opinion. You just have to justify it. It's as simple as that. Or what you're saying. McSauce is key to our midfield, but his injury record hasn't been great. Hope Ole looks after him and not overplays him. Donny and McSauce for me. As I said, I've explained there why I don't think we're going to see Donny and McSauce, even if we want to, in that double pivot. And it's because McTominay is somebody who is far better as a box-to-box midfielder. We all know that. We all know that. And I would say Fred is far better as a box-to-box midfielder as he is defensively. But Fred is like, I told you, Scrappy-Doo. He just runs around, bites the heels of people. And that is why he stays there and he will stay in that team. And why Solskjaer trusts him. Matic, if he was younger, Matic would be playing every single game. I can see you, Sandy. Must have rejoined. How you doing, Sandy? Nice to see you this morning. Look, if anybody would like to join Sandy, hit the join button down below. Genuinely, this is an interactive channel. I hope it is anyway. You can have your say. You can get your opinions heard. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Going back to that game yesterday, something that cracked me up. Really, really cracked me up. Let me see this. Was this video here. You probably won't be able to hear it. But there's a West Ham fan who's like, he doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. Wait for it. He doesn't miss. He doesn't miss. Well, look at the away end up here. Look at the madness. Pure goonage up there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look, pure goonage. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And I can't yet. I don't know. I just think I'm reaching the point now where I'm going to be a little bit more vocal with my opinions, I think. Yeah, anybody who's watched me on United People's TV, you know that I kind of sit on the fence. I always look at one side and I always look at the other and I try and present an argument. But for me now, I think people need to calm the hell down with Solskjaer. And I'm not here Look, the title of this video, Solskjaer deserves praise. He deserves praise. His substitutions changed the game yesterday. The assist from Matic, the goal from Lingard. Everyone says his game-changing decisions can't change the match. They did. Praise him. If you're going to criticize him after Young Boys, praise him here. But I'm not here saying that he's the best manager in the entire world. There are, of course, things that he needs to learn from. And I don't need to explain those again. I did those in depth, in detail in my video saying a message to Solskjaer from Manchester United fans. But I'm definitely going to do a video on a sort of a message to Solskjaer outers, because I feel quite strongly about this. And it really is just getting on my nerves. Let me go up here and look at the comment. Youngest, good morning to you. How you doing, my friend? Got Vaughan watching from Cambodia. Hope the ref choked on the bubbles. My God, Martin Atkinson yesterday, man. Absolute joke there, really, wasn't it? That there from Zuma. Mate, it's not even... It's so badly a penalty. It's so obviously a penalty. And he didn't go to VAR. This one, I can understand if you want to have the argument about it. Was Ronaldo's leg going into blah, blah, blah. You can have a potential argument about that if you really wanted to. I would personally think both are stone wall because Ronaldo skipped past his man. But this one here, Zuma gets absolutely nowhere near the ball and completely and utterly takes Ronaldo out. Yet Martin Atkinson does not go to VAR. And 90 seconds later, because of the Shaw handball, he goes to the monitor and it was a penalty. It was handball from Shaw. We can't exactly say it wasn't, because if that happened against United, we would absolutely want that penalty to be given. And this is what everyone's like, oh, mate, yeah, if De Gea didn't save that, it's a 2-2 draw. We should have been 4-1 up because of 2 penalties. Don't have agendas, people. Agendas are not good for your health. Agendas don't allow you to form correct opinions because you are skewed. You are Piers Morganing. I've just made Piers Morgan into a verb. That's exactly what it is. If you have an agenda, you are blinded by one side of the argument. You can only see one side of an argument. And therefore, you just will keep looking and looking for more evidence to support you. More evidence. Oh, yeah, he didn't take Fred off until the 80th. Good, more. Get in. Let's ignore the fact that Matic got the assist and Lingard got the winner. Agendas don't help anybody in football to form fair opinions. And that's what it's all about. And I think I'm going to have to do a video on it because it just made me angry. A bit like Martin Atkinson yesterday. He did make me angry. Absolutely ridiculous decisions. And it should have been dead and buried by the time that West Ham got their penalty. Yashika, what are you saying there? We have the worst fans, to be honest, even toxic towards our players. Why would you support a team and not want the players to improve? One mistake and it's ship him out. I wouldn't say that we have the worst fans. I think Arsenal still take the biscuit with that one. But I would say that we have got a bit of a toxic split on occasions. When the lows are low, there's a real split that happens among United fans. Matt, how you doing? I haven't spoken to you in a while. My only concern is that we don't seem to play as a team. We have individual moments of brilliance that get us through matches, but we need to play more as a team. Matt, I'm going to completely disagree with you there. Did you not see what Manchester United did in that second half? When we came out, we pressed as a unit. We squeezed it. We forced West Ham into a ton of mistakes. For the first 25 minutes of that second half, it was a proper team performance. Everybody putting a shift in, everyone heading in the same direction. And ultimately, it was a moment of magic and brilliance that won the game for us. But I would say that second half, it was a good overall team performance, as well as Lingard and De Gea coming up with their moments of magic. Bobby, obviously you accept mediocrity. Here we go, my friend. How you doing, Bobby? Thank you very much for leaving that comment and just proving my point. Nah, I don't accept the mediocrity. I don't accept what's happened to Manchester United since Fergie retired, but it has happened. And the football right now in the Premier League is hyper competitive. It really is. You've probably got Liverpool, you've got Chelsea, you've got City, and you've got United there. 4 genuine title contenders. The Premier League is as difficult as it has ever been this year. And Man United are right there at the top of the Premier League. We are competing. We will compete for the Premier League title this year. Whether or not we fall short, we'll find out. Could that be down to Solskjaer? Could that be down to the fact that we don't have a midfield and we are Donut FC? Maybe. But to say that I don't have the standards and that... It's madness, man. It's madness. Just understand where you are. as a club, where we have been as a club, and where we are getting towards. We just signed Ronaldo, man. We just signed Varane. We just signed Sancho. Sure, we needed that central midfielder. But ultimately, if we're being fair, like, we still have probably one of the best summers in the Premier League, even without signing that midfielder. Our standards haven't dropped. No one's accepting mediocrity. But we're equal top of the Premier League. How is that accepting mediocrity? What do people want, man? Do people just want United to win 3-4-0 every single game? City just went and drew 0-0 with Southampton. They've been dropping points this season. Is that because City are accepting mediocrity, or have they just had an off day? United have been heading in the right direction for a long time under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And look, man, we've done it all before. We have Moyes, who was brought in by Fergie to be the Fergie replacement. Fucking miserably failed. We then switched to pure experience in Louis van Gaal after he took Netherlands to third at the World Cup. It didn't work with Manchester United's philosophy. It jarred. He was so stubborn in his own philosophy that he wasn't able to imprint that in United. It was a messy end. And it was boring as hell. Remember all those 0-0s? My God. Then Mourinho came in. We got in bed with the devil. That did not work. It spectacularly blew up in our face. But look, we won the Europa League. We won the League Cup. Yeah, the trophies that mean absolutely nothing to Manchester United and have changed nothing. If you ask Arsenal fans, I know this, they always feel that the FA Cup, not all of them, but the FA Cup under Arteta was a bit of a false illusion, a false dawn. The FA Cup will change nothing to help Arsenal get back to where they were. And I miss that. I miss the Arsenal-United rivalry. Probably the best rivalry I think we've ever had in the Premier League, or we'll ever have in the Premier League. Because winning the FA Cup doesn't get you back. Winning the League Cup doesn't get you back. Winning the Europa League does not get you back. Winning the Premier League or the Champions League gets you back. Manchester United, we're top of the Premier League this year. That's where the ambitions are. That's where we're heading towards. And right now, this team is definitely the best chance that we've had. And that's happened under the stewardship of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Whether you like it or not, people, it is a fact. Mourinho might have finished second. Cool. How we were like 18 points behind. And no one ever really felt that United had a chance. We've got a chance this year. And Solskjaer has helped make that happen. Let me go down here and look at the comments. See what you're saying. What's Ole's philosophy? Late goals. Conceding first. But ultimately winning the game. Philosophy-wise, look, Solskjaer is a man who definitely cliches are a massive part of his philosophy. It's why I was always slated as the PE teacher, because he spoke about culture. He spoke about teams and winning. And he does speak in quite simple terms when it comes to football a lot of the time. But I'm sorry, but I'm happy. I'm happier with this Manchester United team and squad right now than I have been since Fergie retired. And that's happened under Solskjaer. And I will do everything now to support this team. As I said, I've wobbled. I've wobbled a couple of times with Solskjaer, thinking, nah, he actually can't go further down now. But we recovered. And look at us now, man. Honestly, in the comments, try and tell me that we're not in the best position to compete for the Premier League this season than we have been since Fergie retired. I'd love it if you disagree with me. And I'd love to know why. And Quinton, I totally agree with having the best signings this summer. Having said so, we need to up our games and make us fierce by seeing our lineup. Look, we do need to. I've said this before. It's why I was so happy that we scored in the first 20 against Young Boys. United have to lead by example. Puff your chests out. We're United, man. And that's what people are saying with that. Well, you're accepting mediocrity, X, Y, Z. Nah, I'm not. But I understand that football is not going to be a 3-0 victory every single week. We've had huge frustrations already this season. That 1-0 against Southampton, the large portion of that game against Wolves. I think we probably played worse against Wolves. But we came away with the win because Mason Greenwood got the goal. Young Boys, that was hugely frustrating. Hugely frustrating. But Man United will probably still top our Champions League group. I think anyway. And I don't know. I think I've just had enough. I've just had enough of trying to have this, defending it and trying to have this argument. But people, do yourselves a favor and stay middle it. Just middle it. Don't get too high. Don't be going and messaging everyone saying we're the best team in the world after a late dramatic winner and a De Gea penalty save. But at the same time, don't be saying that we're the worst thing in the world after we've got defeated by Young Boys. Both of these games happen within the space of a week. Huge highs and huge lows. If you do that as a football fan, you're going to get exhausted, man, because football is full of highs and full of lows. And even across a 90-minute period, there's going to be those highs and lows. So just chill. Just relax. This, as I said, there's a huge entitlement. And it's pointing fingers at other people going, why can't we? Why aren't we doing that? Ignore them. It doesn't matter what other clubs are doing. The only thing that matters is the progress of Manchester United, the progress that we are making as a club on and off the pitch, because it's been 8 years now since we won the Premier League and we're desperate to win it. Liverpool went 3-0. All right. You think it's bad now? We could go another 22 years if we don't get things right. Okay, so just give yourself context, people. Really give yourself context. I just don't know why you're doing it to yourselves. Honestly, you must just get exhausted and not be able to sleep. Millicent, I think we should accept that sometimes we will lose the games and players and the coach will make some bad mistakes. And we must be there when the team wins and also loses because it's football, man. Look, highs and lows. That's what happens. As JJ said there, we can get frustrated. That's part of life. But we have to give all our support to the players and the manager because they will not change anytime soon. Sam, that month 2 badge is a bit boring. Can you change the color? I'll have a look. I need to actually, if anyone's here, maybe you can give me some help. Might get some custom ones made. I'm just a bit busy. I can't really get it done. But I'd like to do some custom emojis on here for the members. I'd like to do some custom badges. If you want to be involved in helping that, you're good at Photoshop. Drop me a Twitter DM at @SamPeoples_. Maybe that would be cool. What if Ole doesn't win a trophy this season? That's a very fair question, Alan. And that is where ultimately it will be a failure this year. But saying that, and as I said, I think that United, I hope I'm wrong. Really hope I'm wrong. But my expectations of what's going to happen this season are we're going to be there or thereabouts come the start of April. Hopefully still in the Champions League as well. But I think we might become unstuck just at the crucial times towards the end. And I think that's going to be massively to do with the fact that we're Donut FC and we have no midfield. I think when you get to those big games right towards the end, especially in the Champions League, I think our lack of midfield will get exposed. But is it a failure? Ultimately, yes, it's a failure if we don't win the Premier League or the Champions League this year. But the Premier League is so difficult. I don't know. I'm going to be torn on that one. If I'm being completely honest, I'm torn on it because I want to see Manchester United doing significantly better than we did last year in all aspects. And that means that, so last year when we went top of the league, our asses fell out and then the Premier League was over by that point and City ran away with it. Europa League, we went the whole way to the final and we lost that. I want to see United going into the Champions League quarters to the semis and seeing what we can do going toe-to-toe with the best teams in world football. That's what I want to see. I want to see Man United come the start of April being in with a chance of still winning the Premier League. Will it be a failure if we don't win either of those? Yes, on paper it will be, but I think there would still at that point be an argument that you could fairly have that Manchester United have still made clear progress and that right now, if we keep our players that we've got in the squad this season and we go out next season and maybe we bring in a midfielder and who knows, maybe Erling Haaland, then you're looking at United as let's win it all. Let's win all the pots. Personally, I think that holding midfield might hurt us this year and I think we might become unstuck right at the crucial moments. Raw, you're saying, I disagree, Sam. Ronaldo and Varane are winners. They'll give us the extra 10 to 15%. We won't have the same result in the game against Villarreal. Yeah, and that's fair enough. Look, I think both of them really, they're born winners. Champions League 4 times for Varane, 5 times for Ronaldo, once with, 6 times? No, he's won Champions League loads. So yeah, having those 2 players in the squad is going to change us in the Champions League knockouts. And maybe we already have got enough, but we won't know until we get there, right? You won't know until you get there. You can just have your expectations and your guesses, but you won't know. Garov, what you're saying, Ole has done what United should have done post-Fergie. He has built the team. Now United needs to win silverware to build that trophy mentality culture. As I said, look, winning the League Cup ultimately will do nothing for Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Winning the FA Cup will ultimately do nothing for Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to change that winning mentality habit. Cool. Winning the trophy will be good. And winning it in February, the League Cup, I hope we do, because it could start. It could be that, when you get the momentum behind the wheels, that could have an impact. ultimately, neither of those trophies will change the ambitions of fans and the satisfaction of everybody. Those trophies do not mean anything to United by comparison of the Premier League and the Champions League. Look, we've already won the Europa League, we've already won the League Cup, and we've already won the FA Cup post-Fergie. Has that changed how we feel about our club? No, because we're not winning the Premier League and we're not winning the Champions League. Andreas, what you're saying, look, what if Ole wins the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup this season but fails to qualify for the Champions League? Would you call it a success? I wouldn't. I would not call that a success. Although, do you qualify for the Champions League if you win the FA Cup? No, I don't think you do. But look, I don't think that would be. I actually put it down as my predictions. I actually predicted United to do a domestic double. And of course, that will help. And of course, there'll be the first trophies for Solskjaer. And they'll be nice in towards. And that is the Premier League and the Champions League. Before I quickly head on here, look, it's a really interesting debate. I'm enjoying it. Let's get involved. Anybody here, come down and subscribe to United People's TV. Please get involved in these debates. Get involved in these conversations. I want you to be part of United People's TV. So please, if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the video. Now, coming up here from JJ, which is a very fair point, Mark Robbins, and that goal did change everything for Fergie. But let's not try and compare situations, man. When Fergie took over that team, Man United hadn't won a league in like 30-odd years. We hadn't won anything in ages. And that's why that FA Cup was so significant for Sir Alex Ferguson and so significant for that Manchester United team. This Manchester United team, this is where it does come down to expectations. This Man United team have won 13 Premier League titles since Fergie back in those times. We won the Champions League twice. We've won the FA Cup countless times. The League Cup too. Therefore, winning the League Cup and the FA Cup won't change anything for this Manchester United team. It changed a lot for that Man United team. But for this Man United team, what we need is the Premier League and the Champions League. They're the two trophies that have eluded us. And let's be honest, winning the Europa League, FA Cup and League Cup, it didn't change anything. Now, this is something I've actually I've said and I agree on. I think there's a lot to be desired about our coaching staff. I think Manchester United now, we haven't conceded from a set piece in 540 minutes. And that's since Eric Ramsey arrived from Chelsea, the set piece coach. Clearly, United are doing very good at defending. Not so good from corners, man. We had so many corners against West Ham. I don't know whether Shaw's the right set piece taker or whatever it is, we need to be better at actually threatening from set pieces. We're definitely better at defending from them, but that's a different thing altogether. But look, let's keep having this conversation and debate. Keep firing in your comments. Please fire in your super chats as well. If you really want something to, if you have something to say, fire it in a super chat. And also, it helps support the channel, like all does all the time. Big up to all. Big up to everybody who sends in super chats. Let me go down here and see what you think. Anthony, hi Sam, from Malaysia. I think Solskjaer needs to hire a tactical assistant coach like Fergie had Rennie Mudenstein to help him develop tactics. What do you think? I think you can't disagree with that. I question whether Mike Phelan is the right man for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think Mike Phelan was the right man for Manchester United as a club to help with the rebuild behind the scenes, and I think Phelan's been a key part of that. But I don't know whether he's the right man to be the right-hand man, funny that, for Solskjaer from a tactical perspective. That I can completely agree with, because you have to surround yourself with the right people. Let me go down and look at the comments here. Fred, you're asking for consistency with from fans who are frustrated but loyal to our club. Opinions will always differ, Sam. Of course, opinions will differ. But this is my point here. I think people that really will still be screaming frustrations after that game against West Ham, because, you know, it took an 88th minute winner from Lingard and it took a last minute penalty save from De Gea. I think a lot of people have now formed an opinion that's verging on an agenda with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And that's what I'm saying. You can't have that. Agendas don't help anybody in football. Don't help anybody in any point in life, man. You have to try and stay balanced. And that's why I want to do a video, a message to sort of these fans who, in my opinion, aren't fairly balancing everything that's going on right now, and fairly balancing the fact that we have, in my opinion, come a long way under Solskjaer as a football club on and off the pitch, to the point now where this team, I feel more connected to this team than I have any team post-Fergie. My opinions. James, how you doing, man? I haven't seen you in the comments before. Make sure you subscribe. Sorry, tactics, if I'm ignorant, but why could Solskjaer not replace Fred and McTominay for Van der Beek and Matic sometime in the second half? That's just down to I suppose, opinions from Solskjaer down to what he sees working. Fred, I think it's almost like Fred's we're a little bit too loyal to Fred. I think out of all the midfielders we have, Fred is a player who, for some reason, he just seems to keep playing. He seems to keep playing, and I think that's because Solskjaer doesn't really feel like he has another option to Fred inside the squad. Now, a lot of us will point to Van der Beek fairly, but defensively, Fred definitely offers more than Van der Beek. Going forward, possession, Van der Beek offers a lot more. That's why we want to see him there. But I'm not sure why he didn't. Ultimately, it worked because United won. People down in the comments saying McFred was awful. McFred wasn't awful. McTominay was very good in his box-to-box role. Remember that pass he put through for Ronaldo? When Ronaldo, like his first touch eluded him and the chance went? That was an incredible pass from McTominay. And in his first game back since groin surgery. So I wouldn't say McFred was awful at all. I would say Fred was. But until we have that midfielder in that squad that Solskjaer trusts, Solskjaer clearly trusts Fred a lot. Whether or not you like his performances, it's clear that Solskjaer has got a lot of belief in what Fred does in that role. I don't know. Why is Fred still playing? As I said, as I've explained that. He does not like Van der Beek at all. Having such a good player and not using him is disrespectful and a disgrace from the gaffer. Look, I've said this all along, and I'm sorry, but prove me otherwise, United. Van der Beek was not signed by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Van der Beek was signed by Manchester United as an opportunity to sign a player for cheaper than his actual value was. It was an opportunity in the market that United went and took. It wasn't a player that Solskjaer wanted. He hasn't hardly played him. He won't hardly play him. There's no way in hell that Van der Beek was a player that Solskjaer wanted to sign. James, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. Welcome aboard. Love to have you on board here. I love how our fans are suddenly tactical experts, says Robert. Look, everyone has their opinions and everyone is entitled to them as well. I'm not here to slate opinions, man. I'm here to cut through agendas. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to try and spread with the word that we've got on this platform, because I could be hugely divisive if I want to, but I don't really want to be. I want to try and bring everybody together. That DVB was signed to replace Paul Pogba, says, or Paul Pogba never left. And in that sense, there's a lot of similarities, I would say, that you've got with Shinji Kagawa and Wayne Rooney. When Kagawa was brought in, I saw Kagawa as a replacement, direct replacement for Wayne Rooney. But then Fergie left and Rooney stayed and Kagawa didn't have a chance. Is that the same with Van der Beek and Pogba? You might well be right with that sense. What are you saying, Rollem? I haven't seen your name either. Big up. Welcome aboard. Make sure you join as a member as well. Maguire's not worthy of being Man United captain. So many silly mistakes and couldn't pass a ball 10 yards a couple of times. I'll be honest, Maguire's had a bit of a shaky couple of games. Young boys and West Ham there. Certainly, Varane is the better partner, better centre-back right now for Manchester United. I want to see Maguire coming through. The thing I always loved about Harry Maguire when he was at Leicester was he was someone who would just break through the lines, burst out from defence, and actually have the confidence and the ability to find those raking passes. He's not doing that so far this season, but we've got Varane there. And Varane is just, look, you can see their takeoff saying Varane, Man United's player of the month. I mean, it's clearly going to be Ronaldo because it's just ridiculous. Is it 4 goals in 3 games now? Keep trying to write him off, man. Lionel Messi's out there getting subbed and giving Pochettino the unhappy Frenchman face when he got taken off, but then PSG got a late winner. So again, Pochettino's decision there was vindicated as a manager, whether you agree with it or not. But Ronaldo, player of the month, surely. As good as Varane has been, trust me, I know he's been that good. But Ronaldo, 4 in 3. Jeez. Ines, what are you saying? There's a lot of new names I'm seeing this morning, so keep firing in your comments. Nice to see you all joining in, and nice to see you joining in, Ines, as well. So buzzed after yesterday, proud of Jesse and De Gea, happy for them. Angry too because we should have had 2 penalties, but I can forget that for the ending. As what I said there, people saying, oh, if De Gea didn't save that last-minute penalty, I would have drawn 2-2. Yeah, and if we had the 2 penalties which we deserved, it would have been 4-1. And these are the margins and the small things that won't get remembered a couple of weeks down the line. It's all about the results, and that's why that result was so important for Manchester United yesterday. So why did Solskjaer not let Van der Beek go in the last window, says Anthony? That much is very simple, because there's 2 different ways you can look at Van der Beek at Manchester United. Number 1, if we were doing what suited Van der Beek, we would have let him go to Everton. We would have let his career continue elsewhere because he's not going to get that much opportunity at Manchester United this year. But if we're looking from Manchester United's point of view as a club, you keep Donny van der Beek in case injuries come, in case somebody gets hurt, then you've got Donny to call on. Therefore, keeping Van der Beek, even if he's not playing, suits Manchester United better as a club. It doesn't suit Donny in his career, but it certainly suits United. It gives us more options and strength in depth. And therefore, I would prefer to see that than letting Donny go. So many comments here firing in about Fred. I'll do a video on Fred, all right? I'll do a video on my opinion of him. Maybe I'll put him in the spotlight. I know quite a few of you want those videos to come back. Maybe Fred will be first up. Chris, what are you saying? Sam, do you think there's a better option for midfield than Rice that United should try? I'll be honest, I don't think there's any point in that, my friend. I think it's a bit of a waste of time. Rice is Solskjaer's top target. What was your opinion on Rice's performance yesterday? I thought he was a bit overshadowed by McTominay. I thought Rice did well. I thought he was good at it. I like his positioning. I can see where he can slot into that Manchester United team. And you can see exactly why Solskjaer wants him. Whether or not you think he's worth the money, whether or not you think he's the best option, X, Y, Z, I don't really think it matters. I think he's our first choice. And what Solskjaer showed this summer with Varane, with Sancho, with Ronaldo, that was an opportunity. Manchester United are only going after our top targets right now. And Declan Rice is our top midfield target. And again, perfect comment there from Jack. Should we have let Lingard go then? Lingard coming up with an 88th minute winner. Purple patch Jesse. Only a few days after what happened against Young Boys. Because let's be completely honest, if the fans were choosing that team, Lingard would probably not have made the matchday squad because of what happened on Tuesday. But football moves on. Football moves quickly. Solskjaer gave Lingard the opportunity to bury what happened on Tuesday, and he did it in emphatic fashion. That's what I'm saying, man. Fans, we can be... It's really easy for us to be hypercritical and hyper excited. It's different when you're a player, when you're a manager. You have to try and stay a bit more balanced and a bit more level. And that's ultimately what United did against West Ham. We stayed level, literally until the 88th minute. And we deserved it. We were good for it. And De Gea, man, I'm so happy that he vindicated his selection. I'm happy that he's buried what happened against that. There was a lot of redemption yesterday, wasn't there, for De Gea and Lingard. But De Gea's been holding on to that all summer long. You saw that. As I said, let me pull this up again. This picture here, man, just hits me in the feels. Look at him. That's him after full-time whistle. Look at that face, man. Look how much it meant to De Gea. For him, and you're talking about expectations and levels, he set the bar for Manchester United goalkeepers for a long, long time. So to see De Gea having that moment, I'm buzzing for him. I'm absolutely buzzing for him. But look, keep firing in your comments, please. Keep subscribing if you're new as well. Where are we up to now? See if we get to the old... Ooh, what are we at? We are on 812. Let's see if we can, by the end of the live stream, see if we can get to 825. Get 13 new subscribers. If you're new and you're watching, welcome to United People's TV. Genuinely, I try to make this the most interactive United show on YouTube where you actually can get your opinions heard. Now, I'm also going to be launching it soon. I won't do it in this one, but I'm going to give all the members the opportunity to join in these conversations every single day. So we're going to do a little segment. I'll launch that soon. I want to get it ready before I do launch it. But if you want to be involved directly, make sure you join, like James, you join as a member today, because then you can get the chance to jump on screen with me and talk about United. But let's talk here a bit more. Matthew, how you doing, Matt? Good to see you this morning. Just joining in. I know it's probably towards the end, but we'd love a recap. GGMU. The recap is simple, my friend. We've been having a bit of a debate, really, about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I say debate. I just wanted to say my piece, if I'm honest. I'm kind of tired of the United. We should not be a toxic fan base, man. And I know the phrase toxic fan base is banded around a lot. But we need to stay united. Cliche, nice pun there. But we do, man. We just take the highs down a little bit, take the lows up a little bit. Don't get so dragged into the up and down nature of football, because as we saw yesterday in that game against West Ham, football's crazy, man. But that's why we love it. Give me that over a comfortable 3-0 win any day of the week. frustrations at no penalties, a dramatic 88th minute winner, a 95th minute penalty that, oh my, so many highs and so many lows in that. But that's what I love. That's why we all love football. And that's why we all have loved football our whole lives. It's those moments, it's that drama that sucks you in and consumes you. But we have to make sure as United fans that we try and stay a little bit more level. Tim, how you seeing here, man? I'm not a massive Ole fan, I have to be honest, but you can't ignore the team spirit and the connection with the fans. I'm loving it. And it's something that, as I said, I feel so much closer to this Manchester United team, to this set of players than I have done in anything I saw under Moyes, in anything I saw under anything I saw under Van Gaal and Mourinho. This United team, this squad, this set of players, I'm far more connected to. And Solskjaer, that's down to his man management. Really is. That's one thing he's naturally very, very good at, is man management. Annie Rudder, what are you saying? What did you make of McTominay's first performance back since injury? McTominay was fantastic yesterday, in my opinion, in his box-to-box role. That is where Scott McTominay is good. And I love to see what he did there yesterday. I hope he gets rested against West Ham, if I'm being completely honest. I don't really want to see McTominay used. I think we've got to ease him back in, or he probably will get another injury. And I don't want him to get injured at all in any way, shape or form. We need Scott McTominay fit this season. I'm not ignoring you, Tom. I can see down here what you're saying. You're talking about Norwegians are all about Haaland and Ole at the mo. Like, I think I need maybe I need to speak to a few Norwegian journalists about Haaland. I'm going to be doing plenty of content on Haaland. Obviously, he's ridiculous now. He's got like 16 goals and 3 assists. He's got like 19 goal assist contributions before the end of September. He's ridiculous. He's going to be the guy next year. Anybody who can get Haaland. Wow. What do I think about Jude Bellingham? I wish that we managed to sign Jude Bellingham. I really do. Jude Bellingham was... We tried it, man. We got Fergie in. We brought him to the club. We brought his family to the club. But Bellingham made the right decision, ultimately, given how his career has gone since at Dortmund. Really fantastic. Let's have a look down here. See what you're saying. McTom was carrying a little bit risky. Look, McTominay, I think, will get rested against West Ham. Maybe come in against the Villa game. Let's have a look. Bright Memphis. What's going on there? There's too many comments flying in here. Sam, why is it anytime we win a game that fans will say it's all down to individual brilliance, but when we lose, they all blame Ole? That, my friend, is what you would call an agenda. As I said, when the criticism and the praise don't match up. Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, if you want to have this argument, every single game of football is decided by individual brilliance. 11 players don't score a goal. One person does. That's what happens. It's a team game, but individuals score goals. Individuals make mistakes. You win as a team, you lose as a team, but ultimately it's individuals who change the game. So if you really want to go on, like, as I said, people shouting certain things because it suits their agenda and not saying other things because it doesn't suit their agenda. People definitely have an agenda. Some people definitely have an agenda at this point about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Let me go down here. I'll read a few more of your comments out. As I said, keep firing in your comments. I'll go for 5 more minutes now. Your actual opinions and your questions. Ask me questions. I really like it when people propose really good questions because it can take the conversation of the discussion of the conversation somewhere else. And fire in your super chats too. If you really got a question you want to ask me or you just want to say something, fire in your super chats and support the channel. And as I'll say one more time now, please subscribe to United People's TV if you are new. I want you to get involved. I enjoy doing these every single morning. And I'm going to do another video today at 1 p.m. Probably do a message to De Gea and Lingard, I think. That's what I want to do because both of them had some serious redemption there yesterday. Titus, do you think our home performances will be better than our away performances this season? I don't think so. Man United's away record is absolutely insane. We need to get our house in order and Old Trafford back into a fortress, but that seems to be difficult. By comparison, it seems to be far more difficult. We could land Haaland and Rice for 100 million quid. I mean, I hope so. There's no way we can get that. Probably 100 million for both of them, really. James, you're saying, cannot speak for others. Tired of bank managers running the club. I'm not trust any too open for me a check in the savings account. We become bank Chester divided. It's a bit confused by that there. But look, Solskjaer's made serious progress in the transfer market. I'm definitely doing a video on that, James. But yeah, I'm just glad that Woodward's gone, but ultimately, unfortunately, we knew it was going to happen, but we've just been replaced by Arnold, who is another Woodward. Abby, I think Rice has better leadership than qualities than all other midfielders we're linked with. I can see him being a captain for a big six club. He does seem to play with that assurance to himself. I think that's a very fair point. You can bring that up there. But James, I'm confused as to the point you made there, James. Did you think Maton played too high and didn't do his defensive role last night, says Shane? No, I think he was tasked with being a box-to-box midfielder, and it worked. I thought McTominay played very well. I thought he was a good threat. I thought when we won the ball high up the pitch, he was certainly involved in that. He's not a pivot midfielder, ladies and gents. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's not and he never will be. Neither's Fred. Neither's anyone, really. But if you play two alongside each other, it covers off the deficiencies of our midfield options. But look, let's go down here. Come on, man. This is ridiculous. You can criticize if he's playing a team with no tempo like we played against Young Boys. I don't understand why it took 5 games to start playing attacking football. You mean the 5 games where in the Premier League we've won 4 and we've drawn 1. And we've scored, 14 goals in the Premier League so far this year? We're scoring bare. We are scoring goals galore. Don't know, man. It's strange. I'm going to wrap this up now because I'm going to start waffling and ranting. I don't really want to do that. But please, after the video's finished, leave your comments on that too, after the live video. I'll be back here. I'm trying to get out for 1 p.m. I want to say something about De Gea, about Lingard. There's so many different talking points right now at Manchester United. There's so many videos I can do. As I always said, fire me a DM on Twitter, at @SamPeobles_. If you've got any video ideas, I listen. And I might take your opinions on board and take your ideas on board. But look, as I said, look, bring back the map, says Marsha. The map's there on Fridays. Make sure you tune in on Fridays. That is definitely there. But thank you very much for joining in today. As I said, if anybody wants to help, I'd love to get some custom badges and custom emojis on the channel for all the members. Just don't have the time right now to do that myself. But if you want to get involved and you're a whiz at Photoshop, hit me up on Twitter, at @SamPeobles_. Slide into my DMs. I'll get you involved. But thank you very much for the debate this morning. I enjoyed it. I had my say. You had your say. As I said, I tried to make it as interactive as possible, and I think we did that. But look, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your week, man. United, we're joint top of the league. We won 2-1 yesterday with an 88th minute winner, and De Gea saved a 95th minute penalty, and Ronaldo scored again. Enjoy it. Enjoy this team, what we're doing, and let's see where we are by the end of the season. But I'm loving it right now. Sorry.